Hey everyone, we are going to talk a little bit about the seating in the Liquid Lounge on the Carnival Horizon. There's been so much controversy on the Vista class ships on the seating in their showrooms, more bad than good. So I'm going to kind of show you guys where is a great place to sit and where are some of the worst places to sit.
Here we are in the mezzanine deck, deck 4, and we're at the main entrance to the Liquid Lounge. Now what's different on the Vista class ships and right here on the Horizon as well as the Carnival Vista is that the entrance to the main lounge is on deck 4 instead of deck 3, the lobby deck. So that's kind of a new setup. So let's take a look how it looks over here. Kind of got to ramp down a longer entrance. And then you come right down into the main floor area here.
This is a little bar set up in the back, which is nice because this is a really comfortable bar stool, by the way. You have this whole table area in front of you to set your drinks. You're right by the bar behind you, and this is really a great spot. The view of the show is really good. That's the view you're going to see. You'll be able to see over people's heads, and this is actually, I think this is one of the best seats in the house myself. So now let's take a look at some other places to sit. Now, if you're more focused on having a drink than the show, but you want to see the show, these are good spots right here. So you can sit right here, order a drink at the bar, sit here, swing around, watch the show, swing back around, get your drink. So there you go. Those are good options, but I will say these go very fast, and there is only, 7 of them. So got to get here early for those. All right, here's another choice of seats, and it's right in front of that little bar area back here. And these are kind of not so comfortable seats. I mean, the seat's comfortable itself, but if you can see, they're very close together, very crowded together. There's no place, if you had a drink to hold, you have to hold it in your hands. You're sitting right here. The view, if you have people in front of you, they sit at the same level, so you probably won't get the best view. And it's just kind of if you're going to be here for a long show, it's just not going to be a real comfortable setting. But there you go. Now see, if you had someone sitting in front of you, this is what you would see. Now you can kind of see the stage from here pretty well, but once people sit in front of you, right there you go. It blocks your view. So just imagine that whole row full of people. that would take away from the show. You would only see the people's heads in the show. So there you go. That's another choice, a not so great choice of places to sit in the Liquid Lounge.
All right, so speaking of the chairs that Sharon just mentioned, so one of the most controversial things about this new lounge setup here are the fact that all the chairs on the floor here have replaced what used to be the very comfortable bench seating with the tables in front of them. So these are all just individual chairs lined up neatly, and the idea is that they can be pulled away to open up the stage, which is fine. But when you're talking about coming in for the show, you're sitting knee to knee, elbow to elbow with people. Getting in and out of here during the show is nearly impossible. There's nowhere to put your drink besides on the floor so it can get kicked and knocked over. Anytime you leave the show in the afterwards, you're bound to see potential broken glass. So if you're wearing flip-flops, that's dangerous, and drinks that are spilled on the floor. So it's something that a lot of people aren't really happy with. There are still some booth seatings around the outside of the area, which are great seats that Sharon will tell you more about here in a minute. But as far as these chairs go, many people are not fans of these individual chairs. So that's one of the biggest issues that folks are having with the new setup of the Vista class ships.
All right, so now I'm in one of these booth, half circle booth seatings here, and there are 4 on each side here, which these seats go fast as well. You know, it'll accommodate about 4 people here. You have a nice table in front of you, and the view of the showroom is pretty good. Even if you had heads in front of you, you would probably be able to see over them for most of the show. So this is just, I think these angle up just slightly enough to see the show. So these are fairly good seats and comfortable as well. All right, here's another option. Now this is all the back area seating here. These have drink holders. They're comfortable seats, and I'm in the front row right here. So, but let me show you. Now there is a booth seating right in front of me, and there is along this whole row. So let me see what you're going to see here. Let me show you what we're going to see. So it looks like you can see the show fairly well from here, but that's because no one's sitting there. So now if people are sitting in front of you, there you go. That takes away from your view of the show. All right, so now I'm going to show you here how some of these seats work back here. Let's find a seat. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's find a seat. Okay, let me show you. Here you go. Here's a good example. You have a pole right in front of you here. You can kind of see the stage a little bit, but when you take into consideration that there's going to be heads in front of you there, you're not going to see much of the show. So there you go. And now let me move back just a little bit. These seats do tier up. Okay, so now this one actually, even with, this is the back row. Actually, even with heads in front of you, you'll probably see the stage fairly well. It's just at a little bit of a strange angle on the side here, but you will be able to see the show back here. So that's another, actually these back seats, it's probably better to get a seat in the back row than down up front there. Now, I want to show you one more seat here. This is a little bit of an odd seat. I guess it's a seat for one if you're traveling alone. But look at how low that seat is compared to the table. And now if I'm sitting back here, I don't know. It's kind of, the view's not too bad. You can kind of see it. But you do have to have good eyes because it's a little distance. Now I'm going to show you one more spot here. And they have bar stools and seating up here. The bar stools, this is going to be your view. And once again, sometimes those poles are in the way. So that's kind of, let me sit back here on the bench seating. Now this bench seating is high enough to get a really good view if you're in the right spot. Right here, there is a pole in our way. So this is definitely not a good spot. But now let's move down a little bit to the next bench. And this isn't so bad. There you go. You got a pretty good view here. So the bench seating way in the back can be a good view of the show. It is at a distance, but you'll get a good view of the show. But once again, you have to get here early to get these comfy bench seats back here. And they do have a nice table in front of you to put your drink on. So there you go. Now I'm going to show you one of the best seats in the house. And let's go down to the front and center here. All right, now these are the seats right in the front center stage. These are supposed to be some of the best seats. I will say everything's flat down here. So you can't always see over the person's head depending on who's sitting in front of you. So these can be potentially good seats, but it really depends on who's in front of you. So let me give you a kind of a look here at what you're going to be seeing. So there's the stage, and you can see that's a pretty good view. But now, if someone's sitting in front of you, there you go. Even though you're down really close to the stage here, it's really taking away from your view. So now I'm going to show you what probably is the best view of the house. The only thing is you're going to kind of have to bend your neck sometimes, like at the movie theater a little bit, but you're not going to have anything in your way. I am in the very front row, dead center in the showroom, and you're going to have a great view of the show here. But once again, you will have to be probably one of the first people in line to be able to get these seats, because these seats go very fast. In fact, they are the first seats to go. Oh, and we have a show going on, it looks like. So there you go. And this is where I'm sitting right now. I am in the front row, and I would say this is one of the best seats in the house for the view, although there are no drink holders, so you do have to sit here and hold your drink. And I wouldn't really put it on the floor, because sometimes the dancers come down a little bit and do some of their dancing out in this here and down in the walkways here, so you just have to be careful with that. So now we are going to head upstairs to deck 5 and show you a few seats up above there. So here is one seat that if you are up on the upper level on deck 5, you're going to have a fairly good view of the stage and everything going on down below you. There's nothing blocking the front of you, and it's a great view. You're right up front here. All right, here's another option for seats, and this is a seat you may end up getting if you're a little late for the show, because as you can see, there's this big pole here right in your view. All right, so see what I mean? Hi there. There is a pole right in front of you. Now you can still see down a little bit on the stage, but it's just kind of annoying that that pole's right there in your way. So, like I said, this is a seat you will probably get if you're late for the show. And it's the same throughout regards to the other poles. See, there's some more poles down there. So all of these seats right in front of the poles, you're going to have the same situation there. And if you look back behind you as you go up, you're kind of going to have the same thing right behind you, maybe even one over to the side. This pole will even be a little more in your view for the show. So there you go. That is a little bit of what you'll see up on deck 5 on the upper level of the theater. Okay, so now I am in the last row of the deck 5, the upper deck here, and this is what you're going to see from here. As you'll notice, most of the other seats kind of have a tiered angle to them, so you can see above the person in front of you. This last row here sits the same exact level as the row in front of us. So if someone's sitting in front of you, you really can't see anything. Right now I can see a little bit, but that's because no one's in front of me. So this is a horrible seat to have, actually. So let me kind of show you. I'm going to put it right up next to my face here, and this is what you're going to see. So you can kind of see the stage, but you really can't see everything on the stage. Oh, there we go. Jamie's going to sit in front of you, so you can see. Okay, so see if someone if someone's in front of you. There you go. You can't see a thing. And on top of it, when they do their shows, a lot of times some of them move some of the chairs down in the center away and do a little bit of interacting there on the floor. So you definitely can't see that from up here. So like I said, I'm going to let you know once again, it is very important you get to the show early on the horizon, or you will end up with one of these seats or standing to see the show. Okay, another seat you can have are some of these bar stools, which is kind of at the back. So if I sit up here, you actually can get this is level with my head, a fairly good view of the show, as long as you don't get one of those poles in your way. If the poles are in your way, then you won't really see much. The only thing is it is kind of at a distance, so if you don't have the best eyes, it may not be your top choice of seats. All right, here is another choice, which you might think is a good choice because you're right center to the stage here, up on deck 5. But once again, you are a little higher, but if someone's sitting right here in front of you, you really can't see here. So let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. So this is my view from what I'm seeing, and it's not too bad, although you can't really see with the chairs in front of you. People are going to be sitting in those, and it's going to block your view. There's Jamie. He's going to sit in the other seat right here on the bench seat in front of us. And see, so imagine having heads all across in front of you, and then again in this chairs in front of him. You're really not going to see much. So even though it's a nice center spot here, the view is not really very good. All right, here's another spot, and these are very comfortable, but let me show you my view. We're up here, and we're kind of in the center again, but there you go. If there's any heads right there in the way and the stage, you really can't see. So you'll be able to hear everything nicely, but you won't be able to see much. All right, now I'm right up here to the front, pretty much dead center, and let me show you my view. This, if you up here and you want a nice center spot, this is definitely the best spot. So let me show you. You will have a perfect view up here. Actually, I think this is a better seat than being, down there myself. You can see everything from up here. But you will have to get to the show very early and be standing in line to get this front and center seat here. Another thing is these are regular seats. They don't have the cup holders like some of the others over there, but they do have these kind of big tables in between them here. So they have a place to put your drink or whatever you have. So yes, this is an awesome seat here. This is the exact view you're going to get from up here. So there you go. This is a good choice of seats, but you may have to get here a little early to get this. Go. This was our little video on where the best spots are in the Liquid Lounge on the Carnival Horizon, where are good spots to sit and where are bad spots to sit. So there you go. And also look at how nice the glass is. The people work so hard here cleaning that glass. They are just cleaning it all the time. I mean, the ship is awesome. So hope you enjoyed our little video and get to the show early and get a good seat.